In this presentation, we will enter a tax entry related to prepaid insurance and insurance expense in our Excel worksheet. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. Here we are in Excel. We're currently at 150%. Last time we entered this adjusting entry related to insurance and prepaid insurance on an accrual basis. This time we're going to make an adjustment saying that our taxes for the purposes of this example are going to be different in that we're going to say for taxes we're on a cash basis and we get to deduct all of the amount paid for insurance. So in that case, then, we need to adjust this to the amount that was paid for the taxes. This is correct for the books. We need to correct this for the taxes. Now, one way we could do that, if we scroll up, we're going to say that that $11,000 we started with is what was paid. So we could just make the adjustment then to say this needs to go basically down to 0, and that we need to then record the rest into the expense, and that'll bring the expense up to 11,000. So in other words, we can think about these entries when there has been an adjusting entry to the account and now we need to do a tax entry. We could think about it from this point going forward. That's one way to think about it. Or we could think about it as, let's get back to the original setting where we were first and then move forward. And although this method, with this example, I think it's okay, either method will work fine. I'm going to say that it's best to get into the default method or the default thought process that you should just reverse this item first and get back to your original number and then work from there according to the new method. By doing that, you're kind of erasing this journal entry, and you're always going back to the start, the book numbers that were actually given to you from QuickBooks. And that's going to be helpful for other types of journal entries that will be similar. And so that's the method I'm going to use here. So in other words, if we go back over, I'm going to say this is good for the books, but for taxes, we need to make an adjustment for it. And I'm just going to call it an A, and we might want to call it a T and an R. And that's going to indicate that it's a reversing entry for me. It's a tax reversing entry. And this is going to be equal to this one plus 1. And all we're going to do to reverse it is just do the exact opposite here to get back to where we started at, and then enter the adjusting entry. So to do that, I'm just going to copy this account and I'll put it up top for the debit, paste 1, 2, 3. Also note, you don't have to be you could put the credits on top, not a big deal. But if there's only 2 accounts, we can reverse the order to have the debits on top later on. If we have a long journal entry and it's easier for me to reverse just by having the same ordering of accounts, even though the debits and credits are backwards in accordance with having the debits on top, that's okay. So we're going to say prepaid insurance is this number, and then I'm going to credit this number. And the other side is going to be insurance expense, copy. We'll put that on the bottom in C24, right click and paste 1, 2, 3. Indenting, go into the home tab, alignment, increase indenting. So then let's go ahead and paste this, and that'll take us back to where we started from. So we're going to go to prepaid insurance up top on the tax side of things. And we're in prepaid insurance, we might want to make it yellow to say that's what we're on. And then we'll start here. We're in K8. We're going to say equals and go left and scroll down. We're looking for prepaid insurance. There's the 1,833 and enter. So that brings us back to the 11, back to our starting point. And then we're going to go back to prepaid insurance or insurance expense. I'll make that yellow. And we'll put our cursor in K27. And say equals, and we'll go to insurance expense and enter, and that brings us back to 0. This step can be kind of frustrating because it's like digging a hole and then filling it back in again. We did the work to do this, and then we're reversing it. But it's going to give us some more clarity as well, because it'll really define the steps that we're taking in order to make the adjustment. And we'll see it'd be more useful, like we say, in other types of transactions. So what we're going to do here now is now I paid the 11,000. We paid the 11,000, and under a cash basis, if we paid it, we get to deduct the entire amount. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this entire amount and expense it. And again, this is not tax advice. This is just a difference here to show how the two methods could work. Two different accounting methods can work here, and how we can make a worksheet to reflect them. So this is going to be the tax entry, and it's going to be the same type of entry as this first one. So I'm just going to copy these two accounts, right click and copy them, paste 1, 2, 3, except now we're going to take the entire 11,000 and take it out of prepaid and put it into insurance expense. So I'm just going to take negative of that number. I'll indent this. So we'll go to the Home tab, Alignment, Increase Indenting, and now we can post this. So this is T, and I should say this equals the 7 plus 1. So the insurance expense, here's the insurance expense. We're going to be on the expense side. So there's something in that account. This is the first time that happened. We could see it up here. That's good. We don't want to delete it. What I'm going to do is just double click on it, go to the end of it, and say plus. And then we're going to go to the insurance expense and enter. Now, it's nice to have this because now I can see the detail. I can go up here and say, what is that going to? And that this little thing is in, that function is in the formulas, and it's under the formula auditing, and these items will give you the tracers. And so now this worksheet, even though there's more than one account in there, will easily let us know what is in there. And that's the beauty of the worksheet. It really helps to be able to do that. If we don't have Excel to do that, we have to erase a number. It's just one number. I don't even know what's in that number. So then we're going to say, all right, that's good. And then the other side, we're going to go up top, is going to be here. And once again, I'm going to double click on it in K8, double click, go to the end of it and plus, put the cursor back down, and then go find that prepaid insurance 11, and that's in E24, and enter. So once again, if I want to see what's in there, I can use this feature to do that, and that's really helpful. So now this goes down to 0 because we're on a cash basis for this account, and therefore it's in 0, whereas on an accrual basis we'd have 9,167 remaining, and the full 11,000 is here. So that's another difference between the taxes. Note that if we look at this difference between the tax, we're going to have this item that's related to the difference between the 11,000, and we're going to have these items that are down below on the non-deductible meals, the non-deductible charitable, and penalties, and so on. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.